Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Lynn Hamilton was a shining light in American television and theater, whose grace, strength, and talent touched the hearts of millions. Born on April 25, 1930, in Yazoo City, Mississippi, Lynn's early life was shaped by humble beginnings and the challenges of growing up in a time when opportunities for women of color were scarce. Yet, her unwavering determination and love for the arts led her to pursue acting, a journey that would span more than 5 decades. After moving to Chicago as a young girl, Lynn refined her craft at the Goodman Theater, nurturing the gift that would one day inspire audiences around the world. Her path was not easy. The entertainment industry was fiercely competitive, especially for African American actresses in the mid-20th century. But Lynn's dignity, poise, and undeniable talent set her apart. She first captured hearts as Donna Harris, Fred Sanford's devoted girlfriend and fiancée, on the groundbreaking sitcom Sanford and Son. Her character brought warmth and humor to millions of living rooms across America, breaking barriers and changing perceptions. At the same time, she became a cherished part of the Waltons, portraying Verdie Grant Foster, a role that reflected resilience, family, and community spirit. Throughout her remarkable career, Lynn graced both stage and screen, appearing in celebrated productions like Shadows, Lady Sings the Blues, and beloved shows such as NYPD Blue and The Practice. Her work resonated with audiences from all walks of life, reminding us of the importance of dignity, perseverance, and representation. On June 19, 2025, surrounded by her grandchildren and loved ones in her Chicago home, Lynn Hamilton peacefully completed her earthly journey due to natural causes. Her legacy lives on, not only in her unforgettable performances, but in the countless hearts she inspired. Lynn's story reminds us that true success is built on courage, character, and compassion. Her life will continue to inspire generations, reminding us that with grace and determination, any obstacle can be overcome. Jack Betts was a true gentleman of the stage and screen, whose remarkable career and enduring spirit left an imprint on the hearts of all who admired him. Born on April 11, 1929, in Jersey City, New Jersey, Jack's passion for storytelling and performance began at an early age. His family moved to Miami, where he pursued theater studies at the University of Miami, laying the foundation for a life devoted to the arts. Jack's journey was filled with challenges, but his dedication never wavered. After earning a scholarship to the famed Actors Studio in New York, he trained among the greats and took his first steps onto the Broadway stage with productions like Richard III and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. From there, he built an extraordinary career across theater, television, and film. Fans remember him fondly as Dr. Ivan Kipling on One Life to Live, where his performances brought both heartache and hope into the lives of countless viewers. On the big screen, his role as Henry Balkin in Spider-Man 2002 showcased his ability to captivate audiences, even in brief but unforgettable moments. That scene, where he faces off with Norman Osborn, remains iconic to this day. Throughout his life, Jack embraced every opportunity with courage and creativity. Whether mastering horseback riding overnight for Sugar Colt or appearing in beloved shows like Seinfeld, Frasier, and Everybody Loves Raymond, he continually proved that perseverance and love for the craft can overcome any obstacle. On June 20, 2025, Jack Betts peacefully passed in his sleep at his home in Los Osos, California, at the age of 96. He leaves behind a legacy rich in artistry, friendship, and inspiration. Jack's story reminds us that true success is not measured by fame alone, but by resilience, generosity, and the quiet strength to keep creating. His spirit will continue to guide and uplift those who follow in his footsteps. Breaking news. Mariah Carey stunned the world with her voice, but what she endured behind closed doors is even more powerful than her highest note. From battling bipolar disorder in silence to rebuilding a broken career that critics declared over, her journey is nothing short of astonishing. Today, we uncover the real story behind the world's best-selling female artist of the millennium. Is her recent quietness a sign of something deeper? Or is it just another moment of rebirth in a life marked by reinvention? Welcome to Who Died Today, USA. In today's episode, we shine the light on Mariah Carey, a woman whose name is synonymous with vocal brilliance, holiday anthems, and unshakable resilience. Known to millions as the Songbird Supreme, Mariah's rise to global superstardom was filled with both platinum albums and personal landmines. Her journey reminds us that even icons must fight to find peace. Born on March 27, 1969, in Huntington, New York, Mariah Carey was a musical prodigy growing up in a world that often tried to silence her. As a biracial child in a fractured home, Mariah struggled to find belonging. Her mother, a trained opera singer, nurtured her talent early on, but Mariah's upbringing was anything but serene. Racial tensions, instability, and emotional isolation shaped a young girl who clung to melody as her lifeline. By the time she was a teenager, Mariah had already decided music would be her way out. She worked nights, wrote songs by day, and eventually caught the attention of Columbia Records executive Tommy Mottola, who signed her after hearing a demo tape. Her self-titled debut album in 1990 launched her into the stratosphere. Vision of Love was not just a debut single, it was a cultural reset. The success came fast, too fast. Hit after hit followed: Hero, Emotions, Fantasy, Always Be My Baby, and the now legendary All I Want for Christmas Is You. Mariah was no manufactured pop princess. She wrote most of her songs, produced her records, and shaped her image. She was a creative force with a voice that could move mountains, and the world took notice. But success came with a cost. In 1993, Mariah married Tommy Mottola, then nearly 20 years her senior and head of her label. The marriage, she later revealed, was emotionally suffocating. She felt trapped in a gilded cage, constantly monitored and creatively restricted. Behind the perfectly lit photo shoots and red carpet appearances was a woman yearning to breathe. The breaking point came with the release of her 1997 album Butterfly, widely considered her artistic emancipation. The sound was freer, more soulful, infused with hip-hop, and undeniably, Mariah. It was her declaration of independence. The marriage ended, but the real challenges were only just beginning. In 2001, the cracks showed. While promoting her film and album Glitter, Mariah began displaying signs of distress. Her behavior during interviews grew erratic. She left rambling voicemails on her website. Soon after, she was hospitalized for what was called extreme exhaustion. The media pounced, mocking her. The film flopped. The album underperformed. And just like that, the woman once hailed as untouchable was being dismissed as broken. What the world did not know was that Mariah Carey was fighting a far more serious battle. In 2018, Mariah revealed that she had been living with bipolar II disorder since 2001. For years, she feared the stigma, kept the diagnosis private, and tried to manage the condition on her own. It nearly cost her everything. The mood swings, insomnia, and emotional turbulence became a secret prison. Her admission was brave. "For a long time, I lived in denial and isolation," she told People magazine. "I was so fearful of losing everything I had worked so hard to achieve." But as she has done so many times before, Mariah turned pain into purpose. She continued to release music, tour, and connect with her fans, affectionately known as the Lamb-Belly. In 2005, she staged one of the most legendary comebacks in music history with the album The Emancipation of Mimi. Led by the mega hit We Belong Together, the record re-established her as a powerhouse. She won 3 Grammys and reclaimed her throne. From that moment on, Mariah Carey stopped living to meet others' expectations. She leaned into her quirks. She redefined what aging looks like in pop. She celebrated anniversaries instead of birthdays and joyfully rejected the labels placed upon her. Her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, offered her most unfiltered story yet. In its pages, she described surviving family betrayal, industry exploitation, and deep loneliness. But she also shared her triumphs, motherhood, songwriting, and the joy of owning her narrative. In recent years, she has continued to dazzle. Her Christmas empire grows stronger every year, with sold-out tours, streaming records, and even television specials. Yet even amid the glitter and snowflakes, some fans have expressed concern. In 2025, at the iHeartRadio Music Awards, Mariah appeared subdued during her speech accepting the Icon Award. Her voice, typically so poised, trembled slightly. Online chatter questioned if she was tired, unwell, or simply overwhelmed. Mariah has not addressed the concerns directly, but longtime fans noted that even in her quietest moments, her presence remains magnetic. It is important to remember, this is a woman who has carried the weight of fame since she was 20. A woman who rebuilt her career after being written off. A woman who turned personal chaos into timeless ballads. If she seems quieter now, perhaps it is because she has earned her peace. Today, Mariah Carey lives on her own terms. She is a mother, an author, a producer, and a legend. Her Las Vegas residencies continue to sell out. Her influence spans generations, and her music remains a healing force for millions. She has no need to prove anything. Her legacy is secure. So we ask you, when you hear the name Mariah Carey, what do you see? The diva in a sequined gown hitting impossible notes? The broken young woman healing in private? Or the survivor who stood back up stronger than ever? Let us know in the comments. Which Mariah song carried you through a moment of heartbreak? Which memory of hers lives in your heart? And if her journey moved you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for being here with us to honor Mariah Carey, not just the artist, but the human being behind the legend. Brian Wilson, the legendary co-founder of the Beach Boys and one of the most visionary figures in music history, passed away on June 11, 2025, at the age of 82. His final days were spent surrounded by family and love, a gentle close to a life marked by both transcendent musical triumph and deep personal struggle. Born in 1942 in California, Wilson forever changed the landscape of pop music with his innovative harmonies, orchestral arrangements, and deeply emotional songwriting. From the sun-soaked anthems of California youth like Surfin' USA and Good Vibrations, to the soul-searching beauty of Pet Sounds and God Only Knows, Wilson's genius was undeniable. His longtime bandmate Al Jardine, in a final visit before Wilson's death, recalled a poignant moment when Brian looked him in the eyes and said, "You started the band." It was a humble acknowledgement that belied Wilson's own monumental influence on the group's formation and enduring legacy. Jardine, who met Wilson in junior college, was the spark that reignited Brian's musical passion, ultimately leading to the creation of one of the most iconic bands in American history. Wilson's life was a tapestry of brilliance and hardship. His years were marred by battles with mental illness and substance abuse, periods that saw him retreat from public life. Yet, he always found his way back to music, and to those who loved him. His late wife Melinda and their 7 children were his anchors in later years. After Melinda's death in 2024, Wilson was placed under conservatorship due to a neurocognitive disorder, but his family remained steadfast by his side. John Stamos, a longtime friend and honorary Beach Boy, shared the heartbreaking moment he told Mike Love, Wilson's cousin and collaborator, of his passing. The two sat in silence for hours, a quiet testament to the bond forged by decades of music and brotherhood. "Without Brian Wilson, life would be a mistake," Stamos later said. Despite his personal battles, Wilson never lost his love for music. In moments of clarity, he would still play piano for hours, channeling the magic that made his work so influential. His musical instincts were unmatched, a true alchemist who turned simple notes into sonic gold. Brian Wilson is survived by his children and a legacy that spans generations. His contributions redefined what pop music could be: emotionally raw, artistically ambitious, and endlessly human. He leaves behind a sound that spoke to the soul, a reminder of what it means to feel deeply, dream freely, and love wholly. In the words of his music, "God only knows what I'd be without you." Rest in peace, Brian Wilson. The world was better with your song in it. Devon Hares, a gifted actor with a soul rooted in the American West, was born in Lubbock, Texas in 1983. His journey began among horses and wide-open skies. 3 days after he was born, his father carried him on horseback, cradled alongside his sister. That early connection with nature and animals stayed with him throughout his life and shaped his quiet strength and deep empathy. Devon's path to acting was forged through passion and perseverance. He studied theater in college and began performing on local stages in the Dallas-Fort Worth area before moving to New York City to follow his dream. There, he took on roles in off-Broadway productions and indie films, building a career through grit, dedication, and heartfelt performances. He found national recognition with his role as legendary boxer Jack Dempsey in HBO's Boardwalk Empire, where he portrayed the iconic figure with compelling intensity. He later brought depth and complexity to roles in Manifest, Daredevil, Blue Bloods, Orange is the New Black, and Gotham. In each character, Devon brought not just skill, but a quiet humanity that resonated with audiences. Behind the scenes, Devon was known for his discipline, humility, and warm spirit. He was a devoted student of martial arts, a lover of animals, and someone who always found time for family and friends. He often joked that a sparring match in the gym was safer than being kicked by a horse. His humor was dry, genuine, and endearing. In the winter of 2024, Devon faced one of his greatest challenges, a serious illness that he met with quiet resilience. On May 27, 2025, he passed peacefully at Mount Sinai West Hospital in New York City from complications related to this illness, surrounded by loved ones. Devon Hares left behind more than a body of work. He left a spirit of authenticity, courage, and grace. His life was a quiet triumph, his presence a gentle light, and his legacy one that will live on in hearts, memories, and the stories he helped tell. Marianne Faithful's story was never just about fame. It was about resilience, transformation, and the enduring spirit of an artist who lived every lyric she ever sang. Born in 1946 in London, she first captured hearts in the mid-1960s with her ethereal voice and striking beauty. But her legacy goes far beyond her early image. Over 6 decades, she reinvented herself time and again, becoming a symbol of both British pop and the sheer strength of survival. She rose to fame as a teenager with the haunting ballad As Tears Go By, written for her by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Her voice, delicate yet deeply moving, led to multiple hits in both the UK and the US, and opened doors to film and theater. Yet her journey was far from smooth. Behind the headlines of swinging London glamour, Marianne faced profound personal challenges, including addiction, the loss of custody of her child, and periods of homelessness. What followed, however, was nothing short of remarkable. Emerging in the late 1970s with the groundbreaking album Broken English, she embraced a rawer voice, one etched with experience, and created music that was both powerful and intimate. Her storytelling carried the weight of truth. Her songs painted portraits of heartache, rebellion, and strength. Through the years, she collaborated with artists as diverse as Nick Cave, Beck, Metallica, and Emmylou Harris. She played roles on stage and screen, never shying away from complexity. And even as she endured health struggles, from breast cancer to arthritis, she continued to create, perform, and inspire. Marianne passed peacefully in London at age 78, surrounded by loved ones. While she faced serious illnesses in her later years, her spirit never faded. She leaves behind a son, grandchildren, and a body of work that will resonate for generations. More than a muse, Marianne Faithful was a force, a voice of truth and tenderness. Her songs, shaped by a life fully lived, remain a testament to courage, creativity, and the transformative power of art. Nikki Cat was a rare kind of actor, versatile, magnetic, and deeply committed to his craft. Known for his compelling performances across film and television, Cat brought a unique intensity to every role, whether he was playing a tough guy, a troubled teacher, or a voice in a galaxy far, far away. He passed away at the age of 54 in Burbank, California. His family confirmed that his passing followed a long and quiet struggle with depression. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Nikki began his career as a child actor, appearing in television shows and films such as Gremlins and The Burbs. He soon became a familiar face in the independent film world, building a reputation as an actor's actor, someone who worked not for fame, but for the love of storytelling. He was perhaps best known for his role as the intimidating Clint Bruno in Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused, a performance etched into pop culture history, with lines still quoted today. In the critically acclaimed series Boston Public, Cat portrayed Harry Sennett, an unconventional teacher with heart and grit. His character resonated with audiences and showcased his ability to balance vulnerability with strength. Over the years, Cat worked with some of the most visionary directors of his time: Steven Soderbergh, Christopher Nolan, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino. From The Limey to Insomnia, Sin City, and The Way of the Gun, his filmography reads like a masterclass in character acting. His work also extended into video games, where his voice gave life to Atton Rand in Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Behind the scenes, Cat was known for his wit, his quiet resilience, and his ability to bring humor even to the darkest roles. He lived part of his life in Austin, Texas, and remained dedicated to his work until his final credited performance in 2018. He is survived by his sister, Elise Ravenscroft. Nikki Cat's life was one of creative depth and emotional honesty. His performances will continue to resonate, a lasting reminder of an actor who gave his all, always, and without compromise. Jonathan Joss embodied a gentle strength that quietly captured our hearts, a familiar presence both on our screens and in our souls. At 59, he was tragically taken from us in a sudden act of violence at his San Antonio home, where he bravely saved his husband by stepping into harm's way. Though his passing leaves an unbearable emptiness, his legacy shines ever brighter. Joss became beloved through his role as Chief Ken Hotate on Parks and Recreation, appearing for 5 seasons alongside legends like Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler. His calm, heartfelt presence brought warmth and depth to the show, and, as Nick Offerman shared, the cast has been texting all day, grieving the loss of their dear friend, describing him as such a sweet guy and a terrible tragedy. For many fans, Joss held a special place in their hearts as the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. His gentle, resonant voice brought that character to life for over a dozen seasons, and this spring, he even surprised everyone at an Austin panel by standing up to speak with courage and honesty. That moment captured his spirit, courageous, heartfelt, and wholly real. Away from the screen, Jonathan shared a deep love with his husband, Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. Their marriage began this Valentine's Day, filled with hopes of building a future together, until malicious harassment fractured their peace. Through those dark months, Jonathan's kindness remained, and the love he and Tristan held for each other was beautiful and unwavering. Jonathan Joss leaves behind a body of work that continues to make us smile, and a spirit of courage and compassion that will never be forgotten. Though sorrow fills our hearts, we celebrate a life dedicated to gentleness, laughter, and integrity. In honoring him, we honor love, resilience, and the quiet power of the human spirit. Bill Burge was one of those rare souls who didn't need to say a word to make you smile. With his quiet charm and unforgettable expressions, he brought joy to generations of families through his beloved role as Bobby in the Ernest films, alongside the iconic Jim Varney. On January 9, 2025, Bill passed away peacefully at the age of 86 in Nashville, Tennessee, a gentle farewell from a man who made laughter his gift to the world. Born in Tennessee in 1938, Bill led a humble and grounded life. He worked for years at the Metro Nashville Public Library and only entered acting by a happy accident, spotted on the street one day by a producer who immediately recognized something special in him. From that moment, Bill's natural charisma led him to appear in several of the cherished Ernest movies, including Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Jail, and Ernest Scared Stupid, as well as the TV show, Hey Vern, It's Ernest. What made Bill truly shine was not just his on-screen presence, but his gentle spirit. He never sought the spotlight. In fact, when offered the role of Bobby, he only agreed to take part if he could keep his day job at the library. He didn't want to speak in the films. He didn't need to. His expressive face and quirky charm said it all. His cousin Sharon Chapman lovingly described him as someone who made people laugh without even trying. A man of faith, respect, and kindness, Bill was deeply rooted in values instilled by his mother. He was never married, had no children, but was loved by many, fans, friends, and even fellow stars, including a dear friendship with actress Leslie Uggams. Bill Burge may have never chased fame, but he became a star in the most meaningful way, by bringing light and joy into our lives. His memory will live on through laughter and in the warm hearts of those who remember him with love. Jackie Ferry was one of those unforgettable souls whose warmth, tenacity, and love for music left a lasting impression on everyone who met her. Born in New York and raised within the controversial Synanon community, Jackie emerged from a life unlike most, bringing with her a rich tapestry of stories and melodies that would color every room she entered. She passed away at age 58 on January 12, 2025, after battling complications from a lung disease, a final challenge met with the same courage she showed in every chapter of her life. In the 1980s, Jackie began her career as a receptionist at Homestead Records, a small label that was forging a path for indie rock's future. Her enthusiasm and talent for connecting with others quickly propelled her into roles at Atlantic and Epic Records. By the 90s, she had transitioned into tour management, working closely with beloved artists such as Elliott Smith, the Lemonheads, John Spencer Blues Explosion, Quasi, Stereolab, and Quintron. To those artists, she wasn't just a manager, she was a steady guide, a trusted voice, and the friend they could rely on amid the whirlwind of touring life. Perhaps few know that Jackie was also the first nanny to Frances Bean Cobain, caring for her with devotion from infancy through toddlerhood, an intimate role she cherished deeply. In the early 2000s, she faced a cancer diagnosis. Refusing to be defined by illness, Jackie rallied friends and fellow musicians behind spirited Fuck Cancer benefit concerts. Her spirit sparked the creation of pink beanies and hats sold to raise funds and awareness, turning her private struggle into public inspiration. Jackie's love was multidimensional. She adored the color pink, had a soft spot for pit bulls, and was a passionate advocate for their rescue, dressing them in cute outfits during her efforts in Maryland. In her later years, she embraced the role of death doula, finding grace and dignity in preparing for her own journey ahead. Jackie Ferry leaves behind her partner Amy Swartz, her dogs, Forrest, Ruby, and Mary, her mother Matilda Levine, stepmother Terry Ferry, and countless beloved friends. Her legacy will live on in the laughter she sparked, the bonds she forged, and the love she embodied. In every song sung, every dog rescued, and every life touched, Jackie's indomitable spirit continues to shine. On June 6, 2025, Maurice Wipani, a cherished actress who brought warmth, strength, and authenticity to every role, passed away on her 61st birthday, surrounded by family and close friends. Best known for her unforgettable appearances in Soldier, Soldier, and Xena. Warrior Princess, Maurice's talent was matched only by her generous spirit and radiant humor. Maurice's journey in entertainment began in the early 1980s when a talent scout from the Miss New Zealand pageant spotted her, igniting her path onto the national stage. She first gained attention on the Billy T. James Show and took on her early screen role as Esmeralda in Ian Moon's beloved comedy film Came a Hot Friday, 1985. Her engaging presence and sincere approach led her to become a familiar face on national television. From 1987 to 1991, Maurice served as the warm and welcoming Lotto Lady on Lotto New Zealand. Her poised and professional demeanor shared this job with her true passion, acting. In 1993, she joined the British drama Soldier, Soldier, where her performance endeared her to co-stars and viewers alike. In the mid-1990s, she embraced the fantastical as Kenai in Hercules, the legendary journeys, and later portrayed the warrior maid Kenai in Xena, Warrior Princess, 2001. She honored audiences yet again when she took on the role of Rebecca Short in Shortland Street in 2008. Beyond her screen roles, Maurice found fulfillment behind the camera, transitioning into production in the 2010s, while also working at her local cafe, an embodiment of her grounded, unassuming nature. Maurice's final moments were shared with those who loved her dearly. On her Facebook page, she offered one last heartfelt message: "I have shuffled off this mortal coil. Goodbye, good Luke, good God." A nod to her love for driving Miss Daisy and her timeless wit. Maurice is deeply missed by her close-knit family, friends, and fans. Colleagues from Soldier, Soldier, including Jay Laga Aya, remember her as incredibly funny and a rock star. Director Ian Moon celebrated her authenticity and truth and honesty on set. In the quiet moments between roles, Maurice exuded kindness, humor, and humility, leaving an indelible impression on everyone she met. Though she's no longer with us, Maurice's legacy lives in those heartfelt performances, genuine laughter, and the memories she helped create. She taught us to carry ourselves with integrity, and she reminded us that life's magic lies in small, tender moments shared. Farewell, dear Maurice. Thank you for gracing us with your talent, your warmth, and your unassuming brilliance. May you rest peacefully. Amber Kellaher Andrews, the celebrated matchmaker known for guiding celebrities and public figures toward love, passed away on April 13, 2025, at her home in Montecito, California, at the age of 56. She died peacefully, surrounded by her loving family, after an 8-year battle with ovarian cancer. Amber's life was a vibrant tapestry of passion, empathy, and an unwavering belief in human connection. Born in San Francisco and raised between Marin County and Los Angeles, Amber began her career as an actress and model, appearing in hit TV shows like Baywatch and Melrose Place. Her transition from entertainment to matchmaking was driven by a deeper calling to help people find love and companionship. In 1995, she joined her mother Jill Kellaher's matchmaking company, Kellaher International, eventually becoming its co-CEO. Amber transformed the business into a globally respected matchmaking firm, working with A-list celebrities, Fortune 500 executives, royalty, and notable families like the Rockefellers. Her passion for forging genuine connections set a new standard in the industry. Amber brought her expertise to television as a matchmaker on NBC's Ready for Love, produced by Eva Longoria, and hosted her own radio talk show, The Rules of Engagement. She was also a frequent guest on Today, Good Morning America, and CNN, where her insights into love and relationships inspired millions. More than a businesswoman, Amber was a radiant soul whose generosity extended far beyond her professional life. She served on the board of Virgin Unite, the philanthropic arm of Richard Branson's Virgin Group. Branson called her a treasure to this world, praising her for her joy, love, and sheer determination to make the world a better place. Amber's love story with her husband, certified horse therapist Nico Andrews, spanned more than 25 years. Together they raised 3 children and lived a life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. Her cousin Morgan remembered her as a fun mom who embraced spontaneity, celebrated sunsets, and made every moment with her family unforgettable. Her final Instagram post captured the essence of her spirit. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, the connection we share with everyone around us. A celebration of Amber's life will be held in Santa Barbara in the coming months, and her final resting place will be in Hanalei, Hawaii. A fitting tribute to a woman whose heart was as expansive as the ocean she loved. Amber Kellaher Andrews leaves behind not only her family and friends, but a lasting legacy of love, connection, and kindness that continues to ripple through the lives she touched. Alice Ozarkski, a beloved television producer and beacon of integrity in the entertainment industry, passed away on January 24, 2025, at the age of 41, after a courageous battle with triple-negative metastatic breast cancer. Raised in Poway, California, Alice's journey into television was anything but conventional. Before her big break, she was selling rugs when a serendipitous meeting with a TV director opened the door to her first entertainment job. From those humble beginnings, Alice's career flourished. She went from being a production assistant on series like Beyond the Break and Togetherness to working as a producer on acclaimed shows such as Baskets, Semi-LF, Super Pumped, and The L Word, Generation Q. Her creativity and leadership reached new heights when she was nominated for an Emmy in 2018 for I Love You, America, with Sarah Silverman. Most recently, she served as executive producer on Golf, a Netflix comedy starring Will Ferrell, and on an upcoming Apple TV Plus series from Vince Gilligan. But Alice was more than a producer. She was a thoughtful leader who advocated for safer working conditions and created supportive, collaborative environments for her crews. Her attention to detail, empathy, and infectious sense of humor touched everyone she worked with. Marja Lewis Ryan, her colleague on the L Word Generation Q, called her a North Star, a reflection of the steady, uplifting force she was to so many. Alice co-founded Funny Adjacent Productions with Anna Dokoza, further proving her commitment to innovative storytelling in both scripted and unscripted formats. Beyond her career, Alice was a devoted wife to director Jonathan Haug and a loving mother to their daughter, Harley. Her legacy will live on, not just in the projects she helped bring to life, but in the lives of those she nurtured with kindness and wisdom. Her family asks that donations be made to Harley's Scholar Share Education Fund, a meaningful tribute to a woman whose love and light will forever resonate in the hearts of those she inspired. Jane Larkworthy, an icon in the world of beauty journalism and a beloved mentor, writer, and friend, passed away on June 4, 2025, at the age of 62 after a long and courageous battle with breast cancer. Known for her wit, candor, and unshakable passion for authenticity, Jane's legacy extends far beyond the glossy pages of fashion magazines into the hearts of those she inspired. Over 4 decades, Jane shaped the voice of beauty for generations of readers. From her early days at Glamour and Mademoiselle to becoming beauty director of Jane and later executive beauty director at W Magazine, her writing stood out in an industry often clouded by trends and pretense. She was sharp yet warm, honest yet imaginative. Whether she was debunking overhyped products or gushing over a candle that truly moved her, Jane spoke like a trusted friend, never a salesperson. Her humor and humanity shone through in every sentence. In a roundup of citrus perfumes, she quipped, "No one wants to smell like Lemon Pledge." That singular blend of style and substance won her not just readers, but lifelong admirers. But Jane was more than a beauty editor. She was a gifted storyteller, a cooking blogger, a music lover with a beautiful voice, and a beacon of support to emerging talents. Her blog, The Fraudulent Chef, charmed readers with its honesty and lightness, reflecting her joy in life's simple pleasures. Her move to the Berkshires with her beloved husband, Bertrand Garbassi, marked a new chapter, one filled with writing, real estate, and continued creative expression. She faced hardships with dignity, including a deeply personal trial that once made headlines and the loss of her mother to the same illness she bravely fought. Yet through it all, Jane never lost her sparkle or generosity of spirit. Jane Larkworthy's influence cannot be measured by her titles or accolades alone. She made the world feel a little more beautiful, not just through products, but through her presence, perspective, and compassion. She leaves behind her husband, stepchildren, siblings, and an entire industry that is better for having known her. Her voice, her laugh, and her light will be deeply missed, but never forgotten. Breaking news. Celine Dion stood before a global audience and spoke through tears, revealing a diagnosis that would change the course of her life and career. Stiff person syndrome, a condition so rare that most had never heard of it, yet so powerful that it had begun to silence one of the most iconic voices the world has ever known. Was this the end of an era, or the beginning of a new chapter for a woman who has never backed down from a fight? Welcome to Who Died Today, USA. In today's episode, we explore the remarkable journey of Celine Dion, a woman who rose from humble beginnings to become the voice of a generation. Her story is one of raw emotion, unmatched talent, personal tragedy, and the quiet bravery it takes to keep going when your body begins to betray the very gift that built your legacy. Born on March 30th, 1968, in Charlemagne, Quebec, Celine Dion was the youngest of 14 children in a working-class family. Music was everywhere in the Dion household, and Celine, encouraged by her mother, recorded her first song at the age of 12. That track reached the ears of René Angelil, a music manager who would mortgage his own home to finance her debut album. He believed she had something the world needed to hear, and he was right. Celine's rise in the French-speaking world was swift, but she had her eyes set on something bigger. After learning English in the late 1980s, she entered the international music scene with the release of her first English-language album, Unison. Then came the moment that changed everything, the 1991 Academy Award-winning duet with Peabo Bryson, Beauty and the Beast. From there, she was unstoppable. Albums like The Color of My Love, Falling Into You, and Let's Talk About Love dominated the charts. Her voice became a beacon, soaring, flawless, and full of feeling. And then came My Heart Will Go On, the haunting ballad from the film Titanic. The song became a global anthem and solidified her place among music's elite. But behind the flawless performances, Celine's life was anything but effortless. Her relationship with René evolved from professional to deeply personal. They married in 1994, but their love story would be marked by both profound joy and profound sorrow. René was diagnosed with throat cancer multiple times. Celine paused her career to care for him, stepping away from the spotlight even as the world demanded more of her. When he passed in 2016, she lost not only her husband, but the man who had believed in her from the very beginning. The grief was overwhelming. But Celine, as always, returned to the stage. She honored him the only way she knew how, through music. Her Las Vegas residencies, first with A New Day, and later with Celine, redefined what a live performance could be. These shows drew millions and generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, making her one of the highest-grossing live performers in history. She wore couture gowns, belted impossible notes, and held audiences in the palm of her hand. But even as she sparkled under the stage lights, something was changing. In December 2022, Celine made a tearful announcement to her fans. She had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that causes debilitating muscle spasms, affecting mobility and voice control. It was a diagnosis that explained the unexplained cancellations, the delays, the silence. With vulnerability and courage, she stepped back once again from performing, this time not to care for someone else, but to care for herself. Her world tour was canceled. Her long-anticipated Las Vegas return was put on indefinite hold. For a woman whose life had been built on stage, it was as if the curtain had come down. But Celine Dion is not one to retreat quietly. In 2025, she returned to the public eye with I Am, Celine Dion, a raw and deeply personal documentary chronicling her journey with stiff person syndrome. Through candid footage, emotional interviews, and scenes of her undergoing therapy and voice training, the world saw not a fallen star, but a woman fighting with every breath to hold on to what she loves. Audiences wept with her. They cheered for her. And more than anything, they saw themselves in her struggle. Because Celine's music has always been about more than just melody. It is about emotion, connection, and hope. From Because You Loved Me to It's All Coming Back to Me Now, her songs have served as anthems for love, loss, and redemption. And now, in facing this cruel illness, she has become an anthem herself. Even as live performances remain uncertain, Celine has remained active in spirit. She surprised fans with an appearance at the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony and sent a video tribute to Eurovision 2025, returning to the stage that first launched her. Her voice, though fragile, still carried the unmistakable warmth that only she possesses. What lies ahead is unknown. But what is certain is this: Celine Dion is far more than a singer. She is a survivor, a mother, a woman who has poured her entire being into her craft, a woman who has faced unimaginable personal loss, relentless public pressure, and now a physical condition that threatens the very essence of who she is. And yet, she continues. Her fans, known lovingly as the Team Celine, remain devoted. They understand that the woman who gave them the soundtrack to their lives deserves time, space, and care. They know that even if she never sings another note on stage, her legacy is already carved in history. So today, we ask you, what does Celine Dion mean to you? Was it the power of love at your wedding? All by myself on a lonely night? Or perhaps just the sound of her voice, reminding you that emotion can be strength? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If her journey has touched you, please like this video and subscribe for more heartfelt stories about the legends who continue to inspire us. Because with Celine Dion, the story is not over, not even close. The music may be quieter, but the echo of her courage rings louder than ever.